Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Collecting Issues, your monthly comic book club, where this week we'll be taking a look at Doom #1, giant-sized one-shot from Jonathan Hickman and Sanford Greene, collecting 1-to-1 of the 2024 Marvel Comics giant-sized one-shot. So many giant-sized things.
So the comic book education continues?
We're talking inappropriate comic books.
You're into comic books, aren't you?
That's comic book shit.
Like in the comic books.
You've said one so many times, Ben, there. I've lost track of all meaning. Anyway, we're back. We took an extended break over Christmas, and we're easing ourselves back in. Unlike Doom, Benjamin, who would never ease himself into anything, we're easing ourselves back into it with a gentle one-shot, which, again, Doom would never do.
Doom wouldn't do it, as the comics say.
He'd just go straight in. No kissing.
And, you know, as the old adage goes in the Marvel Universe, Michael, WWDD. What would Doom do?
That's what that means. Benjamin, come here.
Yeah.
I thought this was new, but it's not entirely new, is it? What is it? What is this? What's going on?
Well, Michael, this is a little one-shot from 2024. Made to be specific, Michael. And it's all about the last days of Doom.
Go on.
It's called Days of Doom is the full official title of this story, Michael. I just didn't say that because it didn't come on the cover. But Days of Doom is the story. And it's put together by the maestro of Marvel's Fantastic Four authorship, Jonathan Hickman, and his good pal and artist, Sanford Greene.
Oh, very good. Jonathan Hickman. So it's probably about the end of universes and massive cosmic scale battles.
Yeah. No, it's pretty much on the money for that, Michael. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here.
He's doing. That's what you get Hickman in for.
That's why he's there. He's not there to write a simple, muted kind of tale of a doctor at the end of his days. No. If Doom's going out, so is everything else.
You just go up to Jonathan Hickman and you say, Jonathan, come here to me for a second. Can I just have a quick word in your ear? We've got a universe over here, and things are just functioning normally. And what we'd love, Jonathan, is for you to come in and fuck that up for us.
Yeah, that's what we'd love.
Could you do that for us, Jonathan?
That's what we want. And you know what Jonathan says?
God damn it, yes I will. I don't know where Jonathan Hickman's from.
I think he might be British. I think Jonathan Hickman is British, but I'm not sure.
Oh, is he? Oh, well, God damn it, yes I will. I'll bloody fuck that universe up good and proper.
I've said that now. The Hickmanites will come and get me.
Oh, no.
I'm
look it up there.
I'm assuming he has... No, he's an American comic book writer, Michael. Your impression was Spotosonicus. There, yeah,
Spotosonicus, my Latin name.
But the driving force behind this one, Michael, is in fact none other than Sanford Greene, the artist. So Sanford Greene came up with this general concept, and then he came on over to Jonathan Hickman and said, "Here, do you think there's any way to make this happen?" And Jonathan Hickman went, "You know what? We're pals. I'll make this happen for you because I say jump and Marvel says how high."
Yeah. Or else I'll end your bloody universe again.
Again. So Sanford Greene has stated that, you know, he gave the reason for this being as growing up reading Marvel Comics, I became fascinated by Doctor Doom and how he potentially is the center of the Marvel Universe. He is one of my bucket list characters, and this story is somewhat a love letter to Doom and Marvel. And in fairness, Michael, it wouldn't be hard to see where that idea that Doctor Doom is the center of the universe kind of comes from in terms of Marvel, because Doom certainly thinks so.
Absolutely, he thinks so. And here's the most important thing. He's Marvel's Batman.
He is. He's Marvel's Batman. He's a traumatized moneybags genius. And yeah, he is kind of a realistic take on what would happen if Batman went a little bit more to the authoritarian, totalitarian route of things. It's pretty
Only a little
interesting. Only a little bit. There, but by a nudge of the arrow of the universe, Michael, or goes Doom. But look, this is, I suppose, in all senses, it lives up to exactly what Sanford Greene has stated as the raison d'etre for this. This is a love letter to Doom.
Benjamin, I'd love
in every sense.
I'd love if you could. I'd love if you could just pronounce that a little bit more. Put a bit more flourish onto it, if you wouldn't mind.
On which part? Raison. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. If you don't mind.
I was trying to find what bit of the Frankish tongue had slipped in there, which was raison d'être.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
it's pretty much the raison d'être of the entire comic, Michael, and
Delicious.
it does live up to that quite well, because this is a love letter to Doom in all his maniacal kind of hubris and arrogance.
Now, Benjamin, shut up for a second. Let's
Okay.
just play a game. And in this game, I'm going to be the character of man who doesn't know what comics are.
Okay.
And I'm going to come to you, and I'm going to say to you, hold on a second now, Benjamin. Shut up for a second.
Yeah.
Do you mean MC Doom, the 2000s hip-hop producer?
Oh, Michael.
Is that who you mean? Is that what we're talking about here?
Wrong.
What's wrong with that?
It's
Is
MF
that who you
Doom,
mean?
Michael.
Is it MF Doom?
Yeah, it's MF Doom.
Well, look, I said I don't know anything about it.
Right. MF Doom, Michael, is a very, very, I suppose, cult famous rapper at this stage, Michael.
MC Doom. Yes.
MF Doom, from a gentleman by the name of Dumille. Dumille was the original name of this particular rapper. Very, very popular rapper for a while, then had a very grim run of personal circumstance, Michael. Stepped away from the rap scene. And then came back. And when he came back, Michael, he donned a mask that looks remarkably like MF Doom. Or, sorry, Dr. Doom. Not
Yes.
MF Doom. He donned a mask that looked remarkably like that. And suddenly, much of his music, Michael, was based around the concept of Dr. Doom in the comics. A lot of it sampled old Fantastic Four cartoons with monologues from the 60s, over the top Doom. A lot of his music directed in that way. And he was asked, what brought this about? Why on earth did Dr. Doom become your central focus? And Dumille explained that he had grown up on the music, or grown up on the comics of the Fantastic Four. He absolutely loved it. So Daniel Dumille was his name. He was born in London, and his rap career really took off in the United States. He unfortunately, Michael, passed away in 2020.
Go on.
So kind of the legend of MF Doom continues, but he was known for this kind of bombastic verse style that was very much as if he was a supervillain. The lyrics, the themes, the ideas were very much part of that, and he was very taken with Dr. Doom, and particularly the idea that he was a man who had suffered greatly and kept his anonymity and menace through this mask, and he kind of took that aspect to get through his own hardship and brought it into his music and became all the more legendary for it, Michael.
So this comic is about the character MC Doom.
No, it's not about the character MC Doom. MC Doom, not MC Doom. That's a completely different thing, Michael. That's someone who raps based on the work of James Herbert. But look,
Frank Herbert, I think you meant there. But
there's
decent enough
Frank
crack.
Herbert is who I meant. Yes, James Herbert was
Yeah,
close
yeah.
enough. Look, the opening of this comic, Michael, there's a beautiful full circle aspect to this. Sanford Greene is a massive MF Doom fan, and the opening lines of this comic are based on one of his songs. Accordion is the name of the song. And in
Benjamin, have I
Accordion,
set us down this track by mistake? I was just doing a joke. Is all of this what? I wasn't
this is real.
expecting all of this.
Oh no,
This is all
sorry,
part
Michael.
of it.
Oh, this is all part of it. Sorry. To be very, very clear, the very opening of this comic uses a lyric from MF Doom's Accordion.
Get out
Living
of
on
here.
borrowed time, the clock ticks faster is the opening lines to MF Doom's Accordion.
Oh, bloody hell, a little tribute from the old Marvel Comics.
Yeah, exactly. A little tribute from the old Marvel Comics. And in fairness to that tribute, Michael, it's very well placed because it pretty much sets the tone and stakes for the entire comic. Doom is living on borrowed time from start to finish of this one-shot. He is... First of all, we hit upon him post-res. I know we like to say in medias res, Michael, but this is post the action. He's been decimated by none other than Galactus. He's been eviscerated from this, Michael. And we see a defeated Doom, which is not something, if you're a comic book fan, you're familiar with seeing. An absolutely decimated Doom is rare.
Except all of the stories he's in, because he does always lose.
He has to lose, Michael. That's how it works. He's a villain.
Because, he's the baddie, you see. And, he has progressive social ideas that need to be slapped back down. Who is this Doom fella, Ben?
So Doom himself, Michael, is I suppose he's one of the MVPs of the Marvel Universe. And by MVP in this case, Michael, I mean most villainous people.
Now, Benjamin, you've put a picture up here, and this picture doesn't look anything like the Toby Kebbell character from 2014 Fantastic.
No, I've avoided taking a lump of coal, chiseling it out a little bit, and sticking two little emeralds in his eyeballs. Yeah, I've avoided that particular issue.
I think you've done it completely wrong. Benjamin, he doesn't look anything like Julian from Nip Tuck shooting electricity powers. What's going on here?
So, I suppose the original Doctor Doom, Michael, has a very gothic 19th century vibe to him, and that's very important. I'll skip ahead here in the thing and show you. So he was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in 1962, and he was put into 2 issues of the Fantastic Four as kind of an ominous villain, and he kind of changed the tone for 60s comics at that time in terms of what a super genius villain looked like. Marvel had done plenty of nerds are evil stereotypes. So had DC at that time.
They were usually just eggheads. Eggheads in lab coats with glasses. Like the character.
Spot on.
Egghead.
Like the character Egghead. But, we'd seen a lot of famous evil villains. There were people like the Mad Thinker. He was a big fellow with a big head, and he had a white lab coat. There was Dr. Otto Octavius, who wore a jumpsuit, and he had big bottle lens glasses and a
classic bowl haircut. Lex Luthor, not Lex Luger from wrestling. Lex Luthor.
But the original Lex Luthor, Michael, is an absolute nerd. He's just a scientist who's a bit disgruntled. He's not the megalomaniac billionaire that we're kind of familiar with today. But that was
Dr. Sylvana. What's his name?
Sylvana. Dr. Sylvana from Shazam.
Is it?
Yeah.
Shazam.
Yeah, it's Sylvana.
Yeah, all right.
From Shazam. Who is just the Mad Thinker by any other name, Michael. But that cookie cutter A mold kind of version of the supervillain genius was pretty established at that point. And Jack Kirby came in and said, I'll change this up a bit. So Stan Lee had penned a character that was in outline very theatrical and very Shakespearean almost. And then Kirby came in and made it good in the style of all Marvel things. At that
Thank you for listening to our TED Talk on the history of Marvel. Kirby came in and made it good. Any questions from the auditorium? No? Thank you very much.
Anybody?
Yeah. Anybody? No. Okay.
So Jack Kirby had this to say about it. He said, Dr. Doom was the classic conception of death, of approaching death. I saw Dr. Doom as the man in the iron mask who symbolized approaching death. It was the reason for the armor and the hood. Death is connected with armor and inhuman like steel. Death is something without mercy, and human flesh contains that element of mercy. Therefore, I had to erase it, and I did it with a mask.
Bang a Darth Vader off that description there, Ben.
There is a bit, but this was before Darth Vader, of course, Michael. Dr. Doom was the original fully ironclad villain in this particular case. And I have to say, Michael, in terms of masks, you don't get much more infamous than this one in the Marvel Universe. Even a hint of it, Michael, makes us go, that's Dr. Doom.
That's Dr. Doom. And you know how you know that? Because it's barely changed.
It hasn't had to.
80 years, it's barely changed. Look at first appearance Iron Man compared to today. Unrecognisable. If you dragged someone from 1963 into the year 2024 and said, what character do you think this is, Jimmy? He would say, well, I don't know who that might be. Some sort of futuristic fellow. But you could show someone from 1963 a modern day picture of Dr. Doom and they'd still know, that's Victor Von Doom, in fact. But I always thought he looked like Julian from Nip Tuck shooting electricity from his fingers. That's if you brought someone from the 90s, Ben. That's what they'd think.
Fucking nip tuck Doom. But yeah, look, it hasn't changed. Mask, hood, green cape,
green hoodie.
Very, very extravagant gestures. And a penchant, Michael. There you go. I stuck a little French in there for you.
Bit of French.
For a monologue. Fucking loves it. And he completely altered that scientist nerd stereotype by just being so menacing. His popularity was very unexpected from Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. So much so that it took them 2 years to work out his origin as a character. He made his first appearance in 1962, but he didn't get his origin story until many, many years later, Michael. And he has, as this comic attests, Doom endures. He has endured. This character is still a fan favorite. People still love Doom. People idolize Doom. And that was attested as early as the middle of last year when Robert Downey Doomier came on stage in the silly little mask and said, I am Doom.
What are they Doom, Ben? What are they Doom?
Ah, very good. Look at us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the level of punnery, chicanery, and all-round comic goodness that's happening on this podcast, you might like us. You might really, really like us. And do you know what you could do if you like us?
What?
You could hop up wherever you're listening and give us a bloody review. Give us a review.
Oh, give us a review. Oh, yeah, nice one.
Yeah, Doom would be pleased. Oh, well, he probably wouldn't. No.
Doom would hate this. Doom has no time for chicanery, Ben.
Yes, Doom has no time for misogyny and microphones, Michael. It's not for him. It's not for him.
That's the secret internal production name of this podcast. Don't let it outside. Don't let people know.
But come here to me, ladies and gentlemen. You could genuinely hop up wherever you are. It might be on Spotify. It might be on Apple Podcasts. It might be... God knows where you are, ladies and gentlemen. Just give us a review. Maybe you just like us. Give us a shout out on the social media of your choice. But we're on loads of social media as well. You can follow us in a bunch of different places. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Blue Sky. We're so trendy, Michael.
Oh, so
Blue
modern.
Sky. So modern.
You can also find Ben on Twitter. He has a blue tick because he's in with the lads.
Yeah. That's great for me. One day we're going to get got.
We're going to get
One
got.
day.
Anyway, Ben.
Yeah.
Enter Doom.
Enter Doom, Michael. So, yeah, it completely changed this role, completely changed this vibe, and has become an enduring character. And, Michael, this comic, Doom #1, giant-sized one-shot, is a testament to that. Because it takes all the madness of Marvel's first family, Fantastic Four, gets rid of them, but keeps all the history. And then we get this intense kind of look at Doom as a character. And I have to say, Michael, what a read. What a ripping little read. Now, a few flaws, Michael.
Quite a few, in fact.
A good read. A good read. I'll jump you back to the running order there, Michael, so you can...
Oh, please do.
Keep going with me.
All right.
So when we say it's a love letter, look, as I said, this is kind of great for a number of different reasons. First of all, Jonathan Hickman's having a great time with Doom. He's loving it. He's just like, I'm just going to turn this man up to 11.
Now, Benjamin, didn't Jonathan Hickman already turn Doom up to 11? Didn't Jonathan Hickman give us Emperor Doom?
Yeah, he's done this a bunch of times, Michael. This is not new ground for Jonathan Hickman.
Yeah, this is not new ground because... No. The very large, very famous, probably the most famous comic book crossover, the most successful in penetrating into the pop cultural psyche. Let's just say I said that on purpose. Of the last few years was Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. And Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars was all about Doom getting one up on a universe-ending event and becoming super powerful. And, doing what Doom always does. Doom's a fucking opportunist.
Yep.
But he might have sometimes also have made the opportunity. So, he's not sneaky. He's just really sneaky.
Yeah, Doom would never admit to being sneaky, I think, Michael. He'd find it underhanded. But he is. He's very sneaky. Doom is very sneaky.
He's always up to something.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I enjoy about this is, we're introduced to a grown-up version of Valeria Richards, who is I suppose, first of all, a character who's remarkably tied to Doom within Fantastic Four lore. Because in various iterations, she first appeared as a teenager. So Valeria is the character who rescues Doom from his ill-fated attempt to take on young Galactus. And by young Galactus, I mean ancient, old, and unknowable Galactus. But Valeria first appeared as a teenager in the Fantastic Four in 254, I think. And that was in 1983. And then we didn't really see much of her again, Michael. She was kind of she popped up as the daughter of Doctor Doom and the Invisible Woman in a what if kind of scenario. And then she came on later as a grown woman, and it was then said that Doom was her. Oh no, it was retconned that Doom was actually Reed Richards in an iron mask. He had taken up the mantle of Doom.
Classic.
And so that was all grand. And then we didn't see her again until she was a baby. They brought her back into the main continuity, 616, as a baby. But Valeria has always been oddly tied to Doom in different ways, to the point that here she fully expresses that Doom is her favorite. She calls him her uncle. And she has always said that she felt more kinship with Doom than with anybody else. And that's laid on pretty thick in this, Michael. Because she basically says, oh yeah, Dad was a bit of a twat. Dad being Mr. Fantastic. And he probably could have taken it on earlier. Yeah, the big stretchy gobshite that he is. He probably could have handled this sooner, but he didn't because he's Da. And she said, but you, uncle, you went out and you dealt with it head on. And I was reading this and I kind of went, that's a very Doom thing to do. The reason that Doom went out isn't because he's a good, decent fella, but rather because he was hoping to get the drop on it, kill Galactus, and then I'm sure he was going to use Galactus's body for some nefarious intent.
Yeah,
there's
he's
no
trying
doubt.
To get his powers. He's just trying to get his powers. He's trying to do a classic Doom where he shows up and everyone thinks he's trying to help, and it's like, nah, I was just here to steal the Silver Surfer's powers.
Yeah,
like the character of Doctor Doom played by Julian from Nip Tuck.
Ah, yeah, that fella there off a Nip Tuck. So Valeria comes in, and I thought that was a nice nod that it's Valeria that does this. It's not Franklin Richards. Franklin Richards hasn't survived the run-in with Doom, but Valeria also has the same level of power and genius. Well, not the same level of power, sorry. She has the same level of genius as Franklin Richards and her father. And she has some time-traveling capabilities within the comics. That's not really shown here. But she is the kind of the main point to the original Fantastic Four. And, very handily, our exposition machine for this.
Yeah. I mean, Doom himself isn't nearly a secondary character in this. This is the main players in this story are Valeria, who kind of gets it going, points Doom in the right direction, and then basically old man Galactus, Clint Eastwood Galactus, who's gone, that's it, I'm fucking sick of this shit, get off my lawn, I'm kicking everyone out and starting again.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong there at all. There's some interesting characterization here. I think it's intended as a bit of myth making. So,
it's Jonathan Hickman, Ben.
It's Jonathan Hickman. It's all myth making. But the Galactus we get here, Michael, this is the most terrified I've ever been of Galactus. Not including him as a big ugly buggly cloud man.
That was very scary when he fought Julian from Nip Tuck.
Very scary. Do you remember when he fought Julian from Nip Tuck?
Yeah.
Dr. Julian from Nip Tuck. No, but in all seriousness, Michael, Galactus has always been a bit silly. He's this big purple and blue or purple and violet, depending on who's creating him. He's got a big helmet. Yeah, he's big and he's scary. And he always says, oh, I'm going to eat your planet. Oh.
I'm going to eat your planet, I swear to God. I'm not messing this time.
And then he doesn't. Nah. So, he's a bit silly. And over the years, Michael, because it's comic books, he's gotten a few different origins and a few different early on kind of where did Galactus come from and what's his purpose and what's he up to? What's Galactus up to? And his first appearance was in 1966, and he's known as Gallon from the planet Ta, which is thank you here in Ireland. Planet thank you here in Ireland. But Yeah, in this particular case, Michael, he was always a bit silly, especially when they gave you a peek behind the curtain and you got to understand who Galen was. Because Galen is this big entity who kind of occasionally has wagers with Thor and bets with other people in the galaxy. And he can take the helmet off. And after a hard day's work, Galactus takes off his helmet and he sits it down. And he sits in his giant space station out in the middle of nowhere and he goes, "Oh, what a day." What a
Fucking day. Fucking day. Dealing with these cosmic entities. Jesus Christ. Silver Surfer's complaining again. Fuck's sake.
And in much the same way that Doom uses monologues, Galactus did as well. He gave these big diatribes on his duty and, his place in the universe and how Earth was a measly planet and would fall to Galactus. And to be honest, it all kind of painted him in the light of a bit of a blowhard, Michael, you know. But in this comic, Michael, he doesn't utter a single word.
No. It's Clint Eastwood, Galactus.
Yeah. He's just this giant source of annihilation within the universe. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite things, because what is beyond reproach in this comic, at least for me, is the art. Sanford Greene does a spectacular job of delivering us an epic scale Marvel story, like cosmic on a scale, both artistically and narratively, that you can't get over. This gritty ink stroke style that he has, it's almost heavy render, but the vibrant colours delivered from being that, and it's not obsessed with big bombastic muscular men. But
shame, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Michael, you've always said that the only thing missing from modern comics is a few more biceps, delts, and pectorals for you to sink your teeth into, and then you
I'm
usually
actually working
say
on a comic with Jonathan Hickman called "Big Bombastic Muscular Men Are the Origin and Destruction of the Universe." The universe is flexed into being and flexed back out of being.
That's Flex Mentallo. Grant
Yeah, I know. I realised that when I was saying it. That
Morrison's already
exists.
done that, Michael.
It's already been done. Fuck's sake, Grant DM.
Grant DM always gets in there first. But like Galactus just is this huge, ominous, silent thing moving through the universe with one singular purpose all of a sudden. And it's fabulous. It's the most terrifying he's ever been. But I also think it redefines his power scale on an unholy level, because every single being in the Marvel universe is just being wiped out when they're all attacking together. Sanford Greene does 3 or 4 splash pages, Michael. One of all the Marvel heroes taking him on, and it's done in this beautiful kind of tiered panel.
It's the 3 tiers where you've got the Fantastic Four family, then you've got the Avengers teams, and then you've got the X-Men.
Stunning. I have it here.
Gorgeous.
I have it here in front of me, Michael.
Pull it up for us.
Just gorgeous, Michael.
Gorgeous bit of work. Pull up
gorgeous
these 3
bit of work from the lads.
Gorgeous.
Oh, that hasn't gone up.
That hasn't
all,
come
Michael.
up at all, Benjamin.
The share's not working, Michael.
Oh, the copyright
for the
lawyers
love of
have
God.
got us. Anyway, it's gorgeous.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. They're in to get us. They don't want us showing it to anyone. No, they won't let me show that to a soul. That's bizarre.
That's fine. Copyright lawyers, they're back at it.
But that's one example of it, Michael. Then we see another one where they're all around Galactus, and it's a ton of little mini panels, like almost like sticky notes with different characters and their battle expressions on their faces. And he's just wiping them all out, Michael.
Just wiping them all out, Benjamin. They've all seemingly attacked him at exactly the same time with no sense of a plan. It's like watching 11-year-olds play football. They're just all chasing the ball around.
It just that is a
the
bit.
The fuck is Reed Richards doing? Why is Daredevil throwing a baton at him? Like, what's Daredevil hoping to achieve throwing a baton at him?
Maybe it's a cosmic baton.
Yeah, this is one of the things about it. Like, none of this makes any sense. What is Daredevil contributing by throwing a baton when fucking Cosmic Ghost Rider is doing nothing?
He's going down swinging, Michael. That's all it is.
Yeah.
He's going down swinging, Michael. That's the point.
And Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, what are they doing? They just look like they're there to get vaporized.
In fairness, depending on which version of Moon Girl you deal with, the Disney Plus version of Moon Girl takes on beings like the Molecule Man and wins. So let's take it easy on Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur there. Let's Benjamin, on there, Michael.
The biggest continuity error here is Squirrel Girl's there. So I mean, they should have won.
They should have won because
if nothing else, yeah. If nothing else,
Nobody's
but for
got
the
plot
memes.
armor quite. Yeah, just for the memes, for the memalicious memes, Michael. Yeah, but look, there's
What?
a bit of obviously suspended belief here, Michael. You know, Doom fails the first time. We get, for my money, far too little a glimpse of the Doom mech taking on young Galactus. I would like to see a bit more of that now, personally. He gets a whooping, Michael. A whooping.
He gets a good old-fashioned walloping.
Yes, a thumping, Michael, like back in the day. And
My mother kicked me today, Ben, so I know exactly what you mean.
you're just stuck in that time period, Michael. You're never getting away with it.
No, not free.
But yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of suspension of disbelief here, Michael, because Doom falls, and then so does the rest of the Marvel Universe, and then Doom gets a second crack at it. And I think, again, there's some nice nods to the paradox that Doctor Doom is, because Valeria says, or Herbie, the AI that the Fantastic Four uses, says, "How is he still alive, Valeria?" And she goes, "Oh, it's magic, dummy," because Doctor Doom in the 2000s abandoned science for magic in order to save his mother from hell. And I mean, that's fascinating in itself, Michael. What a strange little character Doctor Doom is. I mean, there's all kinds of nods to him as that. But my favorite thing about this, Michael, is, I suppose, the restrained aspect of the Doom storytelling, in that, you know, there's very little input from Doom himself. There's a little inner monologue scene when he takes on the Molecule Men, and we get to that in a second. But overall, he is kind of a mythical character, and we almost see him through Valeria's eyes in this comic. You know, he is the wonderful Uncle Doom, you know, the infallible Uncle Doom to her from when she was a child. And we see that towards the end of the comic a little bit, but we'll get into that in a second. Anyway, Michael, let's move on from there and talk about the amazing Marvel greatest hits style gearing up for war montage that we get from Valeria and Doctor Doom. And the armor that Valeria builds for him, which is one of my favorite bits in this entire comic, Michael.
He gets a little bit of everything from Marvel history.
A little bit of everything from every single bit of Marvel that has ever been. So one of the big things that we get, Michael, is we see... So Valeria knows that he can't take on Galactus again, because every time Galactus takes someone on, they get a bit stronger, or he gets a bit stronger. So he wipes them out, absorbs their energy, and Doom and Valeria kind of surmise that he's doing this with a purpose. Yes, he's a big silent entity hurtling through space. Yes, it seems like he's just gone mad, but Doom and Valeria both guess. Well, Doom very smugly goes, "Oh, it's right under your nose, Valeria." And I'm like, all right, a bit of gratitude, Victor, you prick. You were floating in space.
Floating in space doing nothing, you do nothing, fuck.
Doctor,
do
what
she should have said.
Doctor, you'll do nothing. That's the most Irish fucking thing you could have come up with there, Michael. Well done to you, sir. That was very
Benjamin,
good. Yeah.
We're going to get tagged. This is going to get tagged as a Game of Thrones fan post. Isn't the Doom of Valeria like some sort of Game of Thrones thing?
Oh, probably. Sure, I'll tag it. I'll hashtag it that way on all the various social medias. Anyway, Michael, we'll see. Might as well
clickbait
a bit of controversy, as the gang would say. So yeah, Valeria gives us a breakdown of what she's done. So the armor itself that she cases Doom in is a composite of Uru, which is the metal that Thor's hammer is made out of.
I think you meant Uwu.
Ooh,
that's how it's pronounced.
No, that's the metal that they use in various sex devices in Japan. Ooh. No, Uru is the metal of Thor's hammer, Michael, and that's pretty big deal.
Yes,
vibranium is there, good old fashioned Black Panther vibranium.
I think that's the stuff they use in the sex machines, isn't it?
Yes, that's vibratium. Michael, close enough. Oh goodness! Oh, that could be a money-making idea, Michael. Let's not throw that away too soon.
Yeah, edit that out so no one steals our idea.
So she says one for strength and one for durability. Strength being Uru and durability being vibranium. And then There's 3 cosmic cubes powering
3 cosmic
the
cubes. Just fucking laying about the place. 3 of them. Just found 3 cosmic cubes just laying about the place.
Yeah. And then the other kind of mental bit about this, Michael, is that he has to lash super soldier serum into him so he'll survive the fucking suit.
Super soldier serum, like fucking Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he's Joe Rogan being like, you know what I've started doing? Jamie, can you pull that up? Jamie, can you pull up super soldier serum? So just
microdosing.
A shot of this in the morning, and I'm good to go. I feel nothing, no pain, no nothing. I can kick a bag for days. And he does. That's what Joe Rogan's doing right now.
Yeah. He's kicking bags. It's very good.
Kicking bags.
Very good at kicking bags. We're not making a cocaine reference. He's just kicking bags. He's kicking literal bags.
He's literally kicking a bag. And then we get a pretty cool panel, Michael, of Doctor Doom in his kind of glowing Doom armor, or his peak Doom armor, if you want. And that's pretty cool.
He's got all spinkly spangly and there's all stuff jizzing out of him.
And I mean, in the middle of all that, Michael, we get various acts of violence committed by Galactus, one of them being the death of the Celestials at the hand of Galactus. Madness!
One of Hickman's favourites. If you want to show someone is serious, have them kill a Celestial.
Have them kill a Celestial? Just do that.
Or have them kill all the Celestial. The Celestials are Marvel's cosmic bitches.
Well, you've posited this a few times, Michael. They suffer from Hulk syndrome in Hickman's world, where if you want to show how tough someone is, have them beat up the Hulk.
Yes.
And that's what you use them for. But the Celestials are that on a cosmic scale. If you want to show that someone's a threat to the multiverse, have them kick the shit out of a Celestial.
Yeah. The only thing that I was missing from this to make it full-on Jonathan Hickman is that no one killed Thanos.
Nobody killed Thanos. I didn't see any dead Thanos.
Unless he's in one of the panels with the Guardians of the Universe.
He definitely
I'm going to check that while you spin
I'll
your
have a
wheels.
look here and see.
No, you go spin your wheels. I'll check.
So yeah, I mean, look, a good deal of this comic is spent buffing up Galactus, showing him to be a brand new level of threat. I mean, all his own heralds go against him at one point, Michael.
Yeah.
You know,
they get walloped.
And they get walloped. Everybody gets a walloping, right? Ronan the Accuser is there. The Super Skrull is there. Cosmic Ghost Rider. Annihilus is there in one of the panels. Annihilus is getting
MODOK.
MODOK is there. Adam Warlock is there. Not Firestorm. What's his name? I can never remember his name.
Lord.
Moon Dragon is there. She's getting a whooping. Everybody's getting a whooping, Michael.
From Galactus.
So left. Mind you, I don't see Thanos there. But anyway, I'm sure he's there somewhere. Corsair is there. Bloody Beta Ray Bill. Yeah.
What's the story with the Celestials and Galactus? They've got a similar vibe. Why is when he goes to face down the Celestials, why is it a purple and blue one who's in front of him? Because that stood out to me as, if I didn't know, if I was the character man who doesn't know what Marvel is, I'd be like, oh no, it's his brother.
Yeah, I mean, it does look a bit like his brother, but I'm not sure, to be honest with you, what the entire connection is. I know that in this, Galactus is supposed to be the watcher for the end of the universe. So he's essentially the fella who closes the door behind him. Because Death is that in there's a famous line in Death from DC, Death of the Endless. She says, when it's all over, I'll close the door behind me. Galactus is that. He's there to bear witness to the end of the universe and where he can bring it about in a timely fashion.
Now he's just sick of it.
But now he's sick of it, Michael. And originally people think he goes mad with hunger, but then Doom is like, no, Valeria, you idiot. Because he's such a fucking dick. He really is.
What a prick.
What a prick.
What an ingrate.
Yeah. And he apparently is doing this with a purpose of creating his own universe. So, yeah, it's hard to gauge that. Galactus is supposed to be there before the universe comes and kind of deals with that.
Benjamin, have you forgotten Galactus' origin? It's just... It seems like you're being vague, or you're being purposely vague. Galen is the last survivor of the previous universe.
Yes.
And he got sucked into the big crunch basically.
What the fuck did you let me spin my wheels for if you knew it was stuck?
I
prick?
didn't know. I didn't know what you were
Yeah.
doing. I didn't know why you were being vague.
You're some
yeah.
twat.
So Gallon of Tad, the planet of 1,000 thank yous, he is the last survivor of the previous universe. He survived the Big Crunch and was reborn with our universe in the Big Bang.
Yeah.
And presumably, I don't know, they're always tossing and turning and changing their minds, but will he see out this universe, or will someone else have that role and someone else will get, sucked in with the Big Crunch at the end of this universe and be reborn as a kind of Galactus-esque cosmic balancing act?
Probably
the way
Doom.
He is. Well, Galactus has had enough of waiting. He's going, I'm just getting it over with. I'm just doing it.
He certainly has. But I mean, Galactus gets a lot of nods here, Michael. One of my favorite things is, Valeria's like, okay, we go in, we stop him from building his end of the universe machine, and we'll sort it. And Doom goes, no, Valeria, you idiot.
You fucking idiot.
You idiot. There's always heralds. And then Galactus gets himself a set of the most overpowered heralds that have ever been featured in the pages of Marvel Comics. And he gets 3 molecule men and he turns them into fucking heralds. This is madness.
Classic bit of Galactus.
This is madness.
Ben, you just can't. Hickman. Hickman can't help himself in putting molecule men. He loves molecule men. He loves molecule men being part of the foundational structure of the universe. And, the fight between Galactus and the molecule men, it feels like there's a better plural for that. I don't know what it is.
No, they're the molecule men. That's what it says
I know,
in the comic.
It feels like there's a better plural. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Molecules, men, doesn't matter.
The molecular men?
The molecular men, yeah. So the battle between Doom and the molecular men, spectacularly rendered. Right? No argument there. Great showdown with the slashy across the panel, downward angled things. Very
Great
reminiscent of the kind of slightly rubbish battle between the superpowered heroes and the Watchers in the Marvel comic series What If. And this really is a what if, so little tie in there. But it does boil down to kind of the problem with one of my problems with Hickman's cosmic characters, which is when you get beyond this kind of a certain power level, it really doesn't matter what anyone's actually doing.
Yeah.
Like
it's all shenanigans.
It's all just wave the hands, shoot a beam, do a teleport, make a sigil. There's no way of knowing. There's no way of relating this to human experience. Like if Captain America twocks a Nazi on the nose, you go, oh, that would probably hurt if you were a Nazi. I'm not saying anyone is, but if there were any Nazis.
If you were a Nazi,
I didn't know what image you were about to summon forth. No. So he does some sort of magic shenanigans. He does some sort of magic shenanigans here that puts the molecule men into some sort of position of 3, which match up with the position of the 3 cosmic cubes on his uniform, and then they blow up or dissipate, or
I don't know if he traps them in the cosmic cube, but it's not explained. It's not explained, Michael, is what the issue is. It's here. This is his kind of big move. And again, he's using the aesthetic of Marvel's magic, but the molecular men are beyond magic. They manipulate things at a molecular level. And this is probably one of the tricky things that Marvel always gets itself into in terms of hot water, is that magic in the Marvel universe is a very distinct thing from science until you get to the cosmic level, and then you get characters who are like, well, magic is just science. It's just advanced
All
science.
magic is science we don't understand yet.
And I was just like, and I always hate that, because I'm like, lads, will you fucking pick a lane? Will you?
Just, it's purple lasers and red lasers. It's just lasers. Everyone's just shooting lasers at each other. At the end of the day, everything is on this massive cosmic, impossible to beyond comprehension scale, and it still boils down to fuck it, just shoot lasers at them. Just time for lasers.
It's all a bit big and
Just
silly.
fucking lasers. Lasers, I guess.
Yeah.
What does the end of the universe boil down to? Lasers. Who's the biggest lasers?
Who has the biggest lasers and who wants it more? Because, I mean, this is, I suppose, I really enjoyed this as a comic, right? I think this is a fun comic. I think this is what comics should be. I think it's fun. I think it's over the top. I think it's silly. I think it pays homage or homage, since we're going a bit more French these days, Michael,
Please do.
on this podcast.
S'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît. I think I like this because it nods to the 60s and it says, look, these characters are silly. Why not take the molecule men who are just so silly and make them really menacing and weird and zombie-esque? Why not do that? Just have a bit of crack with it. Sure, why not? But ultimately, Michael, the stakes in this comic have already been played for. There's nothing left in the universe by the time Doom comes up against Galactus for the second time.
What exactly do they think they're saving?
Yeah. And I think in some ways it's a nod to Doom himself, because Doom just can't let the insult of being defeated stand. So he's like, fuck it.
The final word, the prick.
Yeah, exactly. And that's very Doom-esque. I quite like that. That's very Doom. But,
it's kind of like Alan Partridge. Steve Coogan would be a great Doom. I think Steve Coogan would be a fabulous Doctor Doom. If you're better than Robert Downey Jr., that's fucking great casting.
Yeah. No, but I am the king of Latveria. That's me.
Yeah.
That's who it is. Yeah. Look, the stakes don't make sense towards the end of this comic. It's so big and it's so ludicrous. And I think the ending of this comic, and we'll do spoilers here, Michael, because if you've made it this far, ladies and gentlemen, you've probably read the comic. This has a terrible ending.
No, it doesn't. Go on.
Get out of here. Get wrecked, you little scrub.
Oh, wow.
There's not enough of this for me. The ending is... It I suppose in some ways, from a narrative writing point of view, very solid, because the entire monologue that Doom gives in his final few panels against the Molecule Men, losing Valeria does a big sacrifice at the end. She says, I just want you to know, yeah, you were always good to me, you protected me, you looked after me, and I just want you to know I loved you for it. And then she eviscerates herself and kind of blows up Galactus' machine, essentially trapping him in this universe with no way of building a new one. She pretty much pulls the ultimate one. But
I don't know, Benjamin, if the plan is to build a new one. I think his plan is just he wants to get this one over with. I don't.
I suppose, that's fair.
I didn't read any implication that he was that he wanted to create a new one in his own image or anything like that. I just got the impression that he just was sick of his role of balancing force in this universe and was like, right, fast forward to the end. This is rubbish.
Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up. He said, wrap it up. That's why I thought the Clint Eastwood thing was a good analogy. I can imagine the Clint Eastwood character just going, fucking wrap it up.
Right.
Sick of this.
Let's move it along, Sparky.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that vibe. And then, so the end vibe of this, Michael, is the final monologue that Dooms gives is, as he says himself, it's not nihilism, but it's just a recognition that everything ends. His entire ending monologue, and I suppose the most un-Doom thing about it is an internal monologue. He gives it's the framing device is that he's giving his final statement, I think, on the ship before he goes out and fights the Molecule Men, before he goes out and faces Galactus for the second time. He's kind of doing a captain's log wrap-up to his existence. And
kind of a podcast in a sense.
Sort of, yeah. A Doomcast, if you would. And it's his thoughts on the universe and everything ending. And it's pretty interesting. And then in the end, Michael, it's just a standoff. And that's where the comic ends. It's a true what if. We get a glimpse, again, in beautiful art from Sanford Greene, Michael. That final panel is magnificent because it shows off the big cosmic entities of Marvel, which are the Watcher, the Living Tribunal, and I can't remember who the last person is.
It's either Eternity or Infinity. I think it's Eternity. I don't have it in front of me.
It's one of the lads. It's one of the lads, Michael. And I have it here. Hang on, I have the panel here. Hold on, we'll take a look at it together, and you'll be able to tell me. There it is. So it ends in this big epic standoff here.
Oh yeah, that's eternity.
And yeah, it's eternity, right? So the living tribunal, the Watcher, and eternity, and this is the final page, and it says it right down there at the end, Michael. It says end, right down here. There it is. Look at it right there.
They're just
having a look, because this is a what if moment, but it's great. The scale is phenomenal. The final doom is phenomenal, but I just felt robbed. I was like, it's just this is it.
No, but that's the point. Like, he has no chance here. Like, he's got a little bit of celestial blood in him, and he's got a few cosmic cubes, but so what? He just wiped out all the Celestials. Doesn't matter. He's still getting walloped.
Yeah, he's gonna get walloped. Yeah, no, he's gonna get proper walloped, isn't he?
By this Galactus, for sure.
For sure. But anyway, Michael, this is wrapping us up.
What?
Jesus, this is supposed to be a one-shot wonder, as it were, Michael. But
this is supposed to be a little quick one.
We've only gone and bloody done it. We've
a lot of podcasts built up inside of us, Ben. That's the only problem.
Yeah, we've been holding our load. But come here to me, Michael. What's that's something we say off air. We never actually record that. Sure, we don't know.
Oh no.
Well, that might not make it into the final cut, Michael. We'll see. But come here to me. What did you think of this overall? Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Give me a bit more there than that.
Yes. I mean, yes. It's odd in the sense that it's so Jonathan Hickman. It's the most Jonathan Hickman thing that's ever been published. And it feels like Jonathan Hickman being derivative of his own work, to the point where I felt like I was missing something. It's like, wait, are we just remixing Secret Wars? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And I get that it's a what if, and it's not called a what if, it's not branded as a what if, but like, he says what if in it, just in case you were wondering.
Doing here, gang.
Yeah. And it's the greatest hits of Jonathan Hickman again. It's universe-ending scale. The whole thing reminded me of the kind of middle section of the run of Secret War, Secret Invasion, Secret Everything. In particular,
Secret Everything.
When all the Beyonders arrived, and it turned out that Beyonders were molecule men or cosmic cubes or whatever, and they killed the Celestials. And then Thor and the Hyperion had a showdown with them. A losing showdown. Classic. In broken space of a dying universe. And made that noble sacrifice. And I was like, I've seen this before. Who wrote that again? It was fucking Hickman. Yeah, it's the same story. He's in the same story.
He absolutely loves it. He loves it.
And,
look.
That's... I'm not I'm obviously complaining, but it's mostly for comic effect. But comic effect, we should have called this podcast that. No, Collecting Issues is a great name. Anyway,
ladies and gentlemen, there's a poll down below. Should we change the name of this podcast for comic effect?
What was I saying? I mean, that is a complaint about it, but it's doing a very different thing to Secret Wars because it's not a company spanning, wallet draining, multi-story, multi-book crossover event that's trying to revive the notion of crossover events in comics.
Yeah.
It's a one shot, but it could very easily, you could pick a character and you couldn't just copy paste panels, but you could tell one character's story from the Secret War event like this. Like, you could tell the Secret War event from Hyperion's perspective.
Sure.
And end up with a pretty similar book. The only difference being, but the most important difference being, Hyperion's not Doom.
He's not Doom. He's certainly not.
He's just not him, Ben.
He's not the guy.
He's not the guy, exactly. He's not him, as the young people would say.
As he would say. But yeah, look, this is a very fun comic for me. I think this is... First of all, I think Sanford Greene's art here is perfect for it. I think he does a magnificent job of just comic book madness throughout the course of it. I also think it's a really fun way for him to get to draw everybody in Marvel he's ever wanted to draw.
Everyone.
Everyone gets a look in. But one of the things I really appreciated about this, Michael, in the digital version that we read, is the little sketchbook at the back where you get to see his thinking.
I thought that was so funny. Funny. I was like, here's a sketchbook of someone drawing Wolverine. So what? So what? We know what Wolverine looks like.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. I was just like, oh, wow. He's got this beautiful, simplified, readable way of creating the characters and then giving them some really epic tweaks and stuff. The colorist as well in this, her name is Roseberg, but her name, it's not Roseberg, it could be Rosenberg. Hang on. I'm going to check that myself. Right. But overall, I really enjoyed this as a comic. I think it's very comic booky. I think the use of lettering is great. I think the epic poses of the characters is great. Sanford Greene's very good at drawing a space machine or a space construct.
Fabulous space machines, both broken and intact.
I did a really nice job of that. The floating Doom head in space was great. I just really enjoyed all of it. I thought it was really, really good. It's Rochelle Rosenberg is the name of the colorist who does a lot of the work here. Fabulous stuff from her. Such colors. Nom nom nom. Nom 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 nom. Good job. She was brought in to do some final passes on the coloring. Sanford Greene did the majority of penciling, inking, and coloring, but Rochelle Rosenberg was brought in, I think, to bring in that final little magic touch from the colorist's perspective. And what a job they've done. I really enjoyed it, Michael. I thought they were able to bring a good amount of depth to a character that normally gets a bit of dicking about and is written off as a megalomaniac a lot of the time. I thought it was nice. I enjoyed the fact that I didn't have to put up with any of the Fantastic Four in it. I quite liked that.
That's fucking useless, trashy gobshite.
Because sometimes, man, they annoy me. There's a few nods to different things there. We get a glimpse at the Maker at one point in the end panels. But overall, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a really good comic. I think it's a nice, as Sanford Greene set out, a nice love letter to Doctor Doom and Marvel Comics in general. And I quite enjoyed it. I would have some more of it. Nom nom nom.
Fabulous stuff.
Nom nom nom. But ladies and gentlemen,
yes,
did you enjoy it? That's what I want to know. There's a few ways you can let us know. You can get in touch in a whole bunch of places. Michael, we're in so many places now.
So many. Too many, some would say.
Too many, some would say. Ladies and gentlemen, you can contact us directly at collectingissues@gmail.com. We have our own email address for this, for God's sake.
Do we?
You can send us an email. Yeah, we do. You can see that Michael is really in the loop on what we're trying to do here. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't really matter in terms of contact, because if you want to get in touch with us, if you want to talk to us about the comics that we're reviewing, if you want to suggest comics to review, or if you just want to give us the reviews of the comics that are currently on your pull list, what you're enjoying at the moment, head down to the description and click on the Discord link. It's just down below. I look like I'm gesturing to my nether regions, but it's the lower
That's
part.
not where it is.
The description.
Don't believe him. Don't let him do Neil Gaiman on you.
Oh, Michael. Shame on you.
I'm not. No, shame on Neil Gaiman, Ben. Not shame on me.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I didn't do it.
Neil Gaiman. Shame on Neil Gaiman. God damn it, Neil. God fucking damn it, Neil. But anyway, come here.
Yes.
Go click on that Discord. Go down there. Give us your reviews. Let us know. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a bloody survey down below in that link description. Go and tell us the next comic we should read for February. Which one should we pick? We'll announce it the first week of February, and you can read along with us for the end of February then as well. Go have a look. It's down below in the description. Or,
fabulous. Yes,
if you really enjoyed this or know someone who loves Doom and would love this, why don't you send this episode to one of your pals and let them listen to
the share feature.
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to read our initial review of this comic book before we got into it on the podcast, the Substack link is down below in the description. There's an essay all about this comic called Doom Endures. And if you like it, and if you want to contribute to that comic book review blog, why don't you get in touch with us on the Discord? We might actually publish your stuff. Go on.
No, we will.
Go on out.
As long as it's not like mad racist or something.
Yeah, Elon Musk is not allowed to submit to our Substack. It's not allowed.
No, he can. He can.
No, he's
as long
not.
as
He's
it's
mad
not
racist. He's a mad racist.
As long as the review's not racist.
Remember, he sent us in that first draft for Mine Tesla. It was just really iffy.
Right,
really
fucking
iffy.
wrap it up. Wrap it up. Get Galactus in here. Wrap it up.
That's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We are off to face down against the last living being of a previous universe. Maybe you'll see us in the next one. Bye-bye.
So yeah.